Hey guys, welcome to This Week in Movie News with the Movie Chick. It is our first ever live show! Yay! I'm super excited to be here. Let me introduce my panel. You guys know me, of course, Chrisley Kennedy. From the Movie Chick, we have Miss Megan Salinas.
Hey, everybody.
We have Miss Katie.
Hi, all my buddies.
And we have our very special guest today, a good friend of mine who does this and covers lots of junkets with me, Courtney Howard, who is now writing for Fan Fiction TV. Courtney, thanks for coming in.
Hi, thanks for having me. It should be fun.
Yeah, we're excited. So last week we did our little test episode, but we aired it for you guys so you guys could see it. This week we are airing live on both the Movie Chick channel and Popcorn TV channel as well, Popcorn Talk Network. We're using their studio. We're super thankful that they're helping us and supporting us as we grow. And don't forget to check out on the Popcorn Talk Network as well. We do quick movie reviews in under 10 minutes that are super fun. So make sure you check those out as well because there'll be lots more going up there. So let's get right into business today. This first one had me thrown for a loop and it's a bit long and wordy, so bear with me, guys. Miss Aretha Franklin fired a lawsuit to stop the documentary Amazing Grace from being showed at the Telluride Film Festival. The film used concert footage shot in '72 by director Sidney Pollack. Franklin said the footage was taken with the express understanding that it would not be used commercially without agreement and consent by Miss Franklin. Allowing the film to be shown will violate Miss Franklin's contractual rights. Franklin previously sued in 2011 over the footage, and the lawsuit was resolved after Elliott agreed not to release the film, which apparently he changed his mind. The footage was from the performance at Temple Missionary Baptist Church in Los Angeles. The footage was never released due to some problems and was shelved for 4 decades. This year, Elliott revived the footage and fixed the sound problems and was determined to release the coveted project but failed to get the okay from Franklin. Franklin cited violation of rights of publicity, the right to use her name and likeness, invasion of privacy, piracy, all kinds of good stuff, or bad stuff, as reasons to stop the film screening. Franklin said justice, respect, and what is right prevailed, and one's right to own their self-image. This one is a little tricky, so I'm gonna throw it to Courtney. What do you think about this?
All the legal jargon is up to me.
Yeah, you first.
Well, apparently it was Sidney Pollack's dying wishes to have this put out, but because of the legal rights and everything, it wasn't going to happen. How it found its way to Telluride, I still am not clear on. It seems like they need to figure out a deal with Aretha. Monetarily seems to be the case, and maybe some RESPCT needs to be paid better attention to her likeness. For an artist, their likeness is everything, so I completely understand where she's coming from. But for the filmmaker, I can imagine this is a devastating blow since he's there actually at the Telluride Film Festival waiting to present. This happened all on the day that he was going to present, and then he can't. I can't even imagine what that's like.
I know.
Can't even imagine. So,
Katie, what do you think?
How could he have not known about it? That's my question. This seems extremely open and shut. It was shelved before for a reason, and the reason wasn't sound problems, it was legality. So how did it get all the way to the festival and then him be disappointed that he can't do it? How did he not know about this? So I don't have a heck of a lot of sympathy for a guy that didn't do his research.
I definitely, on the one hand, I've heard some negative things about licensing just recently, not related to this particular case. So on the one hand, my knee-jerk reaction is to side with the people who just wanted to put out a film. They just wanted to tell a story. On the other hand, as a filmmaker, you have a responsibility, especially as a director, a documentary filmmaker, you have a responsibility to dot all your I's and cross all your T's. And I actually recently talked to a documentary filmmaker for a completely different project. It was called The Wrecking Crew, and he slaved for years and years and years to compile all the footage and to raise the money to get the rights to all the music that was used to it. He did his homework. Yeah. And so to hear somebody else who didn't bother asking for permission and wasn't willing to come to an agreement, yeah, I agree with you, Katie. It's really hard to sympathize.
The thing that struck me on this is I once worked on a film where something similar happened, but this was a film. It was a remake of an old movie called I can't even remember the name of it. It was an old like Japanese or Chinese movie that they were remaking, and we did searches to make sure we had the rights. They did everything they were supposed to. Everything was free and clear. And on day one of principal photography, we got a lawsuit from someone from China or Japan saying that they owned the rights over a verbal agreement. Something like that is very different than something like this. She already sued him in 2011. So to me, like, this is completely, she's right. And I hate to say that because I love the fact that filmmakers can make documentaries and they can do all these things, and a lot of times when you're looking at certain documentaries like Blackfish, you know they didn't get SeaWorld's approval to talk bad about them. So you know that those things like that are going to happen. But when you're using footage of an artist like this, especially someone of her stature, I agree that she did the right thing. And I think in any other situation I might say like, nah, she's wrong. But I think for this, I think she's pretty right.
But because she owns the rights, it's hard to argue.
And she had signed a contract before that happened, before she performed, which I think is what makes it kind of seal the deal.
And it's a monumental album too. Like, people have this in their record collections. And even the liner notes say, coming soon from Sydney Pollack. And like, that movie never saw the light of day and still is seeming like it never will be the light of day for it, which is sad.
It is sad because we all want to see it. So we wish that there was a way for her to do it. Okay, the next one I know somebody on the table is really excited to talk about. Variety is reporting that Kenneth Branagh, who I'm a big fan of, has signed on to develop and is attached to direct an adaptation of the popular YA novel for Disney, Artemis Fowl. After years of being in limbo, fans are super excited that the project may have found new life. It's obviously still in early stages of development, but all signs are now pointing in the right direction to move forward. The series follows a brilliant and amazing 12-year-old criminal mastermind, Artemis Fowl, whose plot to extort gold from the secret people I can't even read my writing at this point, but somebody at the table knows it better than I did. But there's some fairy people involved. There's some gold involved. He becomes kind of an anti-hero rather than a full-fledged villain. So I'm really excited to hear about this because I know somebody's really excited about it. And you have to excuse me because I started to dictate my notes and clearly I don't speak what I want to read. So Megan, what do you think about Kenneth Branagh and Artemis Fowl?
The general plot of the first book is that Artemis Fowl, this young criminal mastermind, kidnaps a fairy who also happens to be in law enforcement for their society.
Who knew?
And he is essentially holding her hostage. So it becomes this big, essentially hostage situation between the magic world and our world, kind of. It's very, very interesting. And guys, I love this series. The first book is the best. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Quiet you. But it is a fantastic series all in all, and it is very interesting to watch this character progression from villain to anti-hero. I think if anybody can do it, Branagh can do it because he has this wonderful visual style, and anybody who doubts that he can do kind of fantasy and sci-fi, which is what Artemis Fowl is, given that it's fantasy creatures, but also there's a lot of technology. Look at Thor, and any doubts you have, you are wrong. Yeah, basically.
Totally agree.
I do worry a little bit because this movie has gone into development hell before, and casting, especially for an actor that young, it can be very difficult, but I am going to uncharacteristically be optimistic about this.
I like that.
I'm excited.
I like that. Courtney, what do you think?
I don't know anything about this series.
Me neither.
I totally know nothing, but I like Kenneth Branagh as a director. Yeah. I think he's totally capable of handling, sounds like, the genre. So I think he might do a very good job.
Awesome.
Part of the reason this movie's been in development hell is because the author of the books, Owen Colfer, wants a hand in the script. Obviously, it's his baby. So they keep having to do rewrites, and then the rights changed hands. Disney didn't initially have it, and then they got it. They had an actor to play Artemis, but while all this legalese behind the scenes was going on, he got too old for the part, so they had to recast. So it's basically been a dominoes chain knocking it over. That said, Branagh has the visual style for this. He definitely has the directing chops to do this, and if his name is on the project, I am super excited, provided it actually comes out at some point in the future.
Yeah, I feel like with him attached and with Disney attached, I feel like it gives more hope to the fans. I, like Courtney, don't know anything about this, but what I will say is with Branagh attached, I'm going to read it, because not necessarily would I do that for every project, but I'm such a big Branagh fan. I mean, I look at the things that he's done, and I mean, Cinderella, are you kidding me? Like
Hamlet.
I mean, I fell in love with that film and the world that he created, and it was done in such a way. I mean, we've seen it so many times before. How could you do it new? And he did it in a way that everyone fell in love with. So that I'm really, really excited about.
I can lend you the books if you want.
I'm so excited! All right. The next installment of Jason Bourne franchise starring Matt Damon officially has a new villain. Vincent Cassel is set to play an assassin tracking Bourne. Cassel will join the ranks of Clive Owen, Carl Urban, and Edgar Ramirez, who have all played villains in previous Bourne chapters. Katie, what do you think of Cassel as the new villain?
I honestly have no idea. I've seen half a Bourne movie, and no, seriously, half a Bourne movie, and I think it might have been the first one. And the only thing I've seen that Cassel's been in is Ocean's 13, and that was a long time ago. So I'm going to go with sure, why not? Because how hard is it to play a villain in a Bourne movie?
Okay. Megan?
I think he'll do fine. I'll be honest, I got fed up with the Bourne movies when I hit number 3. I was very engaged with number 2 because it had this crazy action car scene. Carl Urban was the villain. I can always get behind that. I may be slightly biased.
We can all get behind Carl Urban.
But in the third movie, I got really fed up because it was very repetitive and very predictable, and the shaky cam just gives me a headache. So I'm sure he'll do a fabulous job. I probably won't see it just because it hurts my head so much to go see a Bourne movie. I didn't even see the one with Jeremy Renner for that very reason. I was like, guys, I can't do it.
The one with Jeremy Renner is a nightmare. Yeah. Not just for shaky cam reasons, but it's just narratively, it's a nightmare.
It is.
And there's lots of, it's almost so bad it's good. Almost.
I like movies like that.
Yeah, so it can turn kind of fun, but it's mostly just a waste of your time.
So that's a 4-drink movie then.
It is interesting, though, that, Matt Damon has returned to the series.
Yeah. I think that's what gets me the most excited is that Damon's returning. I also really like Vincent Cassel. I think he's a really strong actor. And I do like him as a bad guy. I mean, just looking at him, when you look at his picture, he looks like a bad guy. So I feel like
typecasting.
It is. And I feel like with Damon back involved and knowing how bad the last couple were, that maybe they'll step up their game and really do something better. Courtney, what do you think about him as a villain?
Well, I've met him in person. I think he's so super nice.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. And he used to be married to Monica Bellucci. And and they have kids together. I bet they're the most gorgeous, ill-behaved children ever. It's what I envision in my head. But he's a really super nice guy. But he has that villain, that air of villainy. And I mean, he's played it before, so he's playing it again. I think it'll be good. I think he'll be capable.
Awesome. Well, we are heading over to the casting couch, and while we're sitting on the casting couch, the ladies are going to tell you if they cast or pass on this casting news, and just a quick little brief reason why. So we're going to get through these nice and quick for you guys. So the first item on the casting couch is Cate Blanchett is set to star as Lucille Ball in the Aaron Sorkin biopic. The film is being produced by her 2 children, Lucy and Desi. Sorkin is in talks to write the script as well, which will center on her 12-year marriage to Desi Arnaz. Megan, do you cast or pass?
I cast. I love Cate Blanchett. Even when it's a movie I don't particularly like what was that one? The Woody Allen one, Blue Jasmine?
Blue Jasmine. Oh, yeah.
I'm not a fan of Woody Allen, but I loved her. She was spot on perfect, and I feel like she's spot on perfect in everything she's in. I could see her being Lucy.
Mm-hmm. Katie, pass or cast?
Cast. I don't see why not. She's got the chops for it.
Courtney?
Cast-ish. I would have actually cast,
maybe a callback,
but I would have cast Catherine Hahn. She's my dark horse. I think she would totally pull it off.
Yeah.
and get awards talk and finally make a name for herself.
I like that.
Can I change my answer?
The world now knows.
Yes. I cast as well. I love Kate Blanchett, and Blue Jasmine is the movie that really kind of set her to me as, I mean, she's always been unstoppable, but that movie to me was like, wow. And I mean, I can't lie, I loved her in Cinderella. Okay, next item on the casting couch. I can't wait to hear this response. Divergent and Fault in Our Stars star Ansel Elgort is set to star in a CIA drama called Code Name Veil, directed by Michael Cuesta, best known from Kill the Messenger. The story is based on actual events following a young CIA agent as he struggles to maintain his sense of morality while navigating dangerous conditions in 1980s Beirut. Courtney also supplied us with an amazing image of Ansel. It's the second one, Stephen, that says Ansel 2. That is fantastic. So, Courtney, why don't you take it first? Cast or pass?
So I have a lot of opinions on Ansel Elgort, but I'll have to keep it short. First of all, that graphic is the best graphic ever. Supplied to me by Jane Lyons. I just need to give her a quick shout out. Because whenever I think of him, it's always that graphic. Ansel, he's so hot right now. Ansel. Taken from Zoolander.
So I think they might not have been able to find it, but we'll post it if they couldn't find it.
It is an awesome, you could probably just do a Google search for it at home, and it's fantastic. Your time won't be wasted. I don't know if he's really going to be good in this role or not. I think the director's really great. Kill the Messenger is an underrated gem. You all should check that out. But I don't know Ansel's range as far as dramatic. He's done stuff before, like Men, Women, and Children, where he's been a little more cardboard than anything, and that's not just endemic to his character. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this one off, so I would say pass.
Okay.
But that's just me. But I do like him. I think he's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And he's a highlight in whatever he's in.
Katie, cast or pass?
I'm going to put a caveat in there and say it depends on the movie flavor. Because if it's in the middle of the Cold War, this could be extremely action-oriented. You have an American and Russia, which is the Soviet Union, rather, which is a problem. Or it could be very introspective. And if it's very action-oriented, I can definitely see him doing it. But if it's very introspective and thought-provoking, then pass.
Okay.
I hate to be mean, but I'm going to say pass. I think...
It's not mean. You're a casting director. You can do whatever you want.
I think when I think of CIA agents, I think of somebody, and I'll be honest, I don't remember how old he is, and I know he's
21.
He looks... Mm-hmm.
He's legal, ladies.
He looks like he should be in young adult movies.
Yes.
And so
Agreed.
he looks, at least looks-wise, he looks a little too young to be playing a CIA agent. However, again, caveat, if the whole movie is about him being a rookie and being in over his head, then I can kind of get behind it. Somebody having to mentor him into this. I kind of get it, but I don't think that's what they're going for in this film. I think this is somebody who, is maybe a little inexperienced, but for the most part is very capable and wise. And so I don't see somebody who looks so young being able to pull that off necessarily.
I'm going to cast. I think that he has the potential to be a really great actor. I really loved him in The Fault in Our Stars. Divergent, I'm like, but Fault in Our Stars, I really liked him. He was perfectly cast. He was absolutely amazing. And I think that he has the potential to be a really great actor. Also, he's kind of one of the most fun people to interview ever. And I know, Courtney, you've interviewed him as well. He's super sarcastic, and you don't know if he's being
he's kind of
jerk.
taking the piss with you.
Yeah,
Where you're
you
not
don't know.
sure.
You don't know if he's being a jerk or if he's just having fun with you. And to me, that makes a fun interview. So if I get to interview him again because he's in another movie, I want to cast him because I love making jokes with him. And note to anyone, if you ever meet him, do not ask him what it's like to kiss her and then play her brother and then kiss her. He doesn't want to talk about it, and he will make fun of you right to your face. So note to self, don't ever ask him that.
He's also trying to be a DJ right now too.
Oh, dear.
DJ handle and solo.
He obviously did not go see. Yeah, he obviously didn't go see We Are Your Friends.
Yeah.
Doesn't work out well, Ansel.
Yeah.
Doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Third worst opening
Of all time.
All right, next item on the casting couch is Josh Gad has closed the deal to play Roger Ebert in the upcoming comedy Russ and Roger. Will Ferrell is on board to play sexploitation maestro Russ Meyer. The film is an outrageous look at the no-holds-barred outsiders who defied Hollywood and made one of the first X-rated films ever released by a major movie studio called Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. A little gem that if you haven't seen, we can't be friends. Having a party of a lifetime in the process. Katie, what do you think of this casting? Cast or pass?
I'll cast it, and it's party of a lifetime that got me because it's Josh Gad and he's a comedic actor, and honestly I think it'll work. If this were a serious look at it, there's absolutely no way. But if it's one of the ridiculous comedies that he always shows up in, yeah, sure, absolutely in his wheelhouse.
Courtney, cast or pass?
Cast. He seems to be like the right body type for the role. I think he's got a good sense of humor. I sort of wonder what Roger Ebert himself would think of this.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what my mind goes towards, but I think it'll be fun. I think it should be fun.
Megan, cast or pass?
You know, I was on the fence about it until you see the side-by-side pictures, and then you're like, oh yeah, no, that works. That works 100%.
Yeah.
And he's a great actor. I've met him on the red carpet before. He's a great guy. Comedic timing is fantastic. And I do like Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell, some of his movies are hit and miss, but they're both really, really genuinely funny actors, and I would love to see them work off each other. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
It's so funny, when I first read this, I was like, oh God, no, this is terrible. And then came the upcoming comedy about Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, and I was like, oh my God, that's perfection, because I can't imagine him playing him in any other era. So I think that this will be really fun to watch. So I cast. Selena Gomez has joined the cast of Universal and Good Universe's Neighbors 2, the sequel, obviously, to the first film, Neighbors. She will star alongside returning actors Seth Rogen, Zac Efron, and Rose Byrne, along with newcomer Chloe Grace Moretz. The plot is still unknown, but obviously we're thinking sorority when you're casting someone like Selena Gomez. Megan, cast or pass?
You know what? I'm going to say cast. I will be completely honest. I did not see Neighbors just because it doesn't look like my type of comedy.
It's not. It's not.
So I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. But just kind of looking at the casting for the first one, it makes sense to me to actually cast Selena Gomez for the second one. She would fit into the type of cast that they had for the first one. And so I'm on board with it. And I'll be honest, I love Chloe Grace. I think she's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to the fifth wave. So I say cast and Selena Gomez was pretty awesome in Bad Blood.
I like that. Katie, cast or pass?
My answer is basically a carbon copy of Megan's because
You can't tell they're best friends.
no, not at all. I didn't watch the movie. It doesn't look like my type of comedy either, but if that's what we're going for and she's able to pull off that role, why not?
Courtney,
I realize
cast or
that's
pass?
a very strong opinion.
No, I like that. I like it. It works.
I would cast. I did see the movie, and I actually enjoyed the movie.
Really?
The first one, yes. I laughed a lot during
Really?
it. And yes. Surprised?
We might break
Little
up
bit.
after this.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Here's the deal.
Sorry.
It doesn't have an ending. I will still say that. It doesn't have an ending, and it still bothers me so much because it could have ended at the point, like, when they're a married couple in bed together, and that's it. We didn't need the final close with Zac Efron. Anyways, I'm wasting time. But if Selena Gomez is like the rabble rouser, that might be fun to watch. She's part of Taylor Swift's squad, so that would be fun to watch.
Yeah. I am so stuck on this, so I might have to give her a call back. I hated Neighbors. I hated it. I thought all it was one big penis joke. I thought the whole movie was my penis is bigger than your penis, and I couldn't stand it. It was like, it drove me crazy. And I am one of those people who thinks that Zac Efron has the potential to be a really great actor.
Totally.
And I hate when he picks those dumb roles. I loved him in The Awkward Moment. The reason why I'm stuck on this is because and I don't know why it's not coming to me right now. The movie with James Franco that Selena Gomez was in, that was amazing. I don't know why I can't think of it, and I'm gonna have to look it up because it was that good. And I don't know why I didn't write it down. I am not always a huge fan of Selena Gomez at all. I don't necessarily think that she's super talented, and I never thought that she was super talented until I saw this movie with James Franco, who I think part of it is James Franco plays a really great, dirty, nasty, skeevy kind of guy, and it's in Spring Breakers. Breakers, they were, that's one of the best movies and of that kind of genre that I've seen done in a really, really long time. She loved it, as you can tell, because she won't sit still. And yes, she's still nameless. So because of Spring Breakers, I feel like she can kind of have the acting chops, but that was a totally different movie. So I don't know that I can see Selena Gomez in comedy. So, I mean, I can, although, see her as the dumb sorority girl. And I don't know necessarily if that's acting.
What was the Disney Channel show? She was on Wizards of Waverly Place.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a different kind of comedy, but it's not like rom-com.
Yeah.
So you don't want to cast anyone in this movie because you kind of wish it didn't exist.
I totally wish it didn't exist.
I'm with you.
Understand that. I understand that there's a need and an audience for this completely. I know that people. Yeah, I know that people like it. I'm more of a 22 Jump Street kind of comedy. That's kind of more my style. So I mean, I get that there's an audience for it. I'm just not it. I don't know. I'm gonna give her a call back. I'm gonna think about that. We are gonna head to the trailer park next. We're gonna talk about 3 quick trailers, and then we're gonna get to the section of the show that we didn't get to last week, and that I'm so excited about because it's my favorite one, and I've been trying to bring it to the website for so long. By the way, before we go to the trailer park, I just want to let you guys know, if you guys shop at Amazon, do me a favor, go to Amazon through our website. If you go on any of the articles on the Movie Chick or on the main page, there is little Amazon ads. If you click on Amazon and then do your shopping through there, we get points, and it helps us kind of keep our website going. It helps these girls continue to write. It helps us continue to use this amazing studio, and it helps her behave during the show. So do me a favor, and if you go shop on Amazon, just go through it. And then as well, when you're reading those articles, the girls all do a really great job of telling you another movie that you may like and rent on Amazon, so you can do that as well. I know that my Prime membership is using all of it because I constantly am watching movies. So the first trailer I want to talk about is A Danish Girl, because I don't know if many people are talking about this one, but I've been hearing so many amazing things about it. So we'll just go really quick. We're going to do A Danish Girl, and then we're going to do Demolition so we can get through the next part of the show as well. So Courtney, what did you think of A Danish Girl?
I think it should be good. I think it'll get a lot of Oscar talk again for Eddie Redmayne. And I think it looks beautiful. I love anything Alicia Vikander is in. Like, she's amazing. I think he's really great too. So I think the Oscar talk will probably be very buzzworthy and wind up paying off.
Katie?
I honestly couldn't get past the fact that it's a cisgender guy playing a transgender woman. And I feel like they should have found a transgender actress, but then again, I'm also cisgender and I don't have the experience to speak on this. So that I could not get past that. It looks like it's going to be a good movie. He's a great actor. She's a great actor. It's your usual Oscar fodder. I was stuck on that issue and had a tough time moving beyond it.
I agree. Prior to watching the trailer, that was my main concern. I'm like, I know Eddie Redmayne's a good actor, and I'm sure that this movie is going to be very well written, but I was very concerned about that until I watched the trailer and you see that. And again, I don't want to make excuses for them, but the main story, and that was my one complaint about the trailer, is that it probably gave away too much of the story, was that it's about this person who thinks he's a man for a long time and then realizes, he is transgender, and that's an unheard of thing at the time. So it's about this person going through this transition. So I understand. And I agree. I think it's going to be beautiful. I think it's going to be very well shot, very well acted. But I understand your concerns, and I shared them too up until I saw the kind of time frame, and then I'm like, okay, I can see why they did that. But there is a need to have more transgender representation,
for sure,
played by actual transgender actors and actresses.
And I feel like one of the reasons why I love this trailer and I'm excited about this movie is because of that. I think that when Dallas Buyers Club first came out, I felt very similar to what Katie was saying, where I was looking at this character that Jared Leto was playing and saying, okay, why can't we get an actual actor or actress that's lived through this? But then I saw Jared Leto's performance, and I understood that it was about finding the best actor for the job, not about finding the person that lived it. I think that a movie like this transcends, and people will go see it that would normally not go see a transgender film. And I think that now is the best time in the world that they could be putting out a film like this with Caitlyn Jenner, with Candace Cain, with all these amazing people doing amazing things. I'm curious to see what the trans community thinks, and if they are supporting it, and if they are understanding that it is the best person for the job. Very similar to Matt Bomer. Matt Bomer is in Magic Mike, and he's amazing, and he's a gay man. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like I'm going to stand behind. I had a really big problem with the Dallas Buyers Club, but then I saw it, and it completely changed my mind in the way that I looked at it, that they were looking for the best actor for the job.
Well, what we can hope is that if this movie does its job well, that it opens up doors for more stories to be told and creates more opportunities for actual transgender actors.
And gets people talking too.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's an important conversation
definitely.
that I never talk about it, but I mean, I Am Kate is changing reality television right now, and it's such an amazing show. And I know that we're talking movies, but because we're talking a Danish Girl, I just have to bring it up that is another thing that is opening doors for movies like this to be made and get distribution to studios and be able to go in theaters, because 5 years ago that wouldn't have happened. The second trailer I want to talk about really quickly is Demolition, Mr. Jake Gyllenhaal. Katie, what did you think of Demolition?
I felt like it was a very disjointed trailer. I don't know. I find it hard to put my thoughts together on it because it was so disjointed. What's it about? Did they give away the entire story? Did they tell us literally nothing? This guy's taking things apart because he's grieving and he's dismantling a marriage, but his wife is already dead. And the trailer was not cohesive enough to make me want to see the movie. It was like some student's art project when they couldn't figure out what story they wanted to tell. So they just told little bits of everything interspersed and hoped it would be good enough.
Megan, what'd you think?
On the one hand, it looks a little bleak for me. On the other hand, it looks like a dark comedy that, in the right state of mind, could be very enjoyable. Because, and I actually do really like the framework. If it's the whole movie of him just writing a letter as a complaint and then going, wait, I should start from the beginning, and then that's how he's unfolding this story, and then having to constantly go back and wait, no, it didn't happen that way. It kind of reminds me of How I Met Your Mother, because somebody misremembers things, and then I was like, oh wait, I have to go back. Only this guy is emotionally disconnected from a lot of things. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the framework of the film. I'm gonna have to be in the right mood to see it, though. Okay. If I'm in like a bummed out mood, I'm not sure if I want to see a guy's emotional journey in terms of coming to terms with the fact, did I love my wife? That sort of thing.
Now that she's dead.
Yeah.
Courtney, what did you think?
I'm on board for a good grief movie anytime. I feel like it's just catharsis, and I could just get my tears out, especially if this deals with marriage. Any kind of like married people arguing movie or married people or sad movie, I'm on board. I don't know what that says about me. I have a very happy marriage. Thank you very much. But I love any kind of movie like that. By the Sea, that's going to be my jam too. So
yeah,
this I'm totally on board with, especially if he's going back and kind of replaying events that he may have not realized he's contributing to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in.
I am really excited about this. I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I think this does look like a dark comedy. I also feel like if you've ever, and obviously this is a different situation, but I feel like if you've ever been in a long relationship that you've questioned at any point during your relationship if this was the right relationship, and then for some reason it ends, there's nothing better than being really destructive. And obviously not on the other person, but sometimes breaking stuff makes you feel good. And I don't mean like go through your house and break stuff, but I mean, sometimes once in a while you drop that plate and you think, oh my God, that felt so good, I have to drop another one. It happens. So there's something very cathartic about this for me. And I think I love Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he's such a great actor. I'm really excited to see Everest. And I like these kind of roles for him that are kind of quirky and like different and weird. And I do agree that there was a little much given in the trailer. But the confusion I had, and maybe mine skipped skipped a couple times, so maybe I missed it, was I didn't know if he was doing this destruction before she actually died or if he was doing the destruction after she died. So that to me makes me want to see it, because I want to know if he was doing the destruction and their marriage started to do good and then she passed away, or did she pass away and then he start doing destruction?
Yeah.
That had my mind whirling and make me want to see it, so I definitely want to check that part out. So we are leaving the trailer park. Guys, Megan knows this from the beginning of the Movie Chickk. I've been trying to get this started as a page. I was really excited about wanting to do this, and it just has gotten so busy and so hectic and so crazy that I haven't been able to. And these girls have really been carrying the site for me, because I haven't been able to do as much writing as I would like to lately. But I bought a dictation, so more writing is coming starting now.
Yay.
So if you haven't been to the site, make sure you check it out. It's themoviechick.com with 2 Ks like me. These lovely ladies work really hard at bringing you stuff. So my favorite part of the show that we didn't get to do last week, so we're going to do this and have fun with it, is called If You Haven't Seen This, We Can't Be Friends. These are some of our favorite movies, guilty pleasures. They might be so bad they're good. They might be Oscar worthy. They can be anything. And every week, each one of us will bring you a movie that if you haven't seen, we can't be friends. Megan, what movie, if we haven't seen, can we not be friends?
Well, I was initially going to do this last week in honor of Wes Craven, but we ran out of time.
Yes.
So I'm going to say that if you haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, we cannot be friends. And I will tell you why. Because it is the best. Anybody who says the first one is best is wrong. That is just the way it is. That is a fact. The third one is the best. It is the perfect combination of genuine scares, 80s camp, and comedy that Freddy is known for. It is the only movie in the entire franchise that has walked that line perfectly. It has the best kills. It has the best jokes. It has the best one-liners. And guess what, guys? The heroine from the first one comes back to mentor the kids in this one. So it makes her story arc come full circle. It is fantastic. The movie that follows it is terrible, and the movie that precedes it is terrible. But the third one is just a gem, and it is my absolute favorite in the franchise. So if you haven't seen it, we can't be friends.
I can't stop laughing because we can't be friends. I'm so afraid of that movie. I'm so afraid.
I get the feeling that none of us are going to be friends by the end of this. That's what I haven't seen.
I was going to say, goodbye, Katie. Goodbye, Chrisley.
Yes.
It's been a lot of fun.
All right, Katie, what's your movie if you haven't seen
home.
We Can't Be Friends?
I am going to the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I grew up on animated movies. I grew up on Disney animated movies. And there's one that came from the era that isn't Disney, but it's really pretending to be, which we call the Anastasia era. It's a 1996 animated movie called Cats Don't Dance.
I so thought you were going Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I don't know why. I so thought you were going Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Animated.
I know, but there's some animation in it. Okay,
And it's
sorry,
from
go
before
ahead.
the
I won't
90s.
interrupt.
Anyway, Cats Don't Dance has a mix of anthropomorphic animals and humans, because, pretending to be Disney. And it's the story of Danny, a young cat from Kokomo, Nebraska, who wants to go to 1930s-esque Hollywood, because that's what this is, and become a big star in the movies. Problem is, Hollywood is kind of a little racist and doesn't like to let animals star in the movies. So they have their demonic Shirley Temple XP named Darla Dimple.
No animals in movies?
It's a very, very thinly veiled metaphor for racism, but it's got music by Randy Newman before he was known for doing the same thing over again ad nauseum. Danny is voiced by Scott Bakula. It also has the voices of John Rhys Davies and Betty Lou Gerson, and the choreography is by Gene Kelly. Was the last movie he worked on.
I like that.
I adore this movie. This is the movie that I will pop on when I'm having a good day. It's the movie that I'll pop on when I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
I have the soundtrack on my iTunes. It is such a good movie. Fantastic animation, great colors, great acting. Watch it. It's so much fun.
I like it. Courtney, what is your movie that if we haven't seen, we can't be friends?
It's not really original, but Anchorman.
Yeah,
I think we're friends now.
Yeah, we're all friends.
Yay! It is so funny. Again, when I'm having a terrible day, I'll pop that on for like 5 minutes and instantly be cheered up. I quote it ad nauseum. I'm surprised I haven't done so on the show yet, but there's still time. I'm trapped in a glass case of human emotion right now over this movie. I just love it so much. It's just the wackiest, dumbest, like silliest, fun movie I've ever seen.
I love that. Okay. So if you haven't seen This We Can't Be Friends, and I guarantee you no one at this table has, Courtney may have, but I guarantee you no one at this table has. I know, I'm judging. I'm totally judging.
We need to change the name of this segment.
Why? It's my favorite name. If you haven't seen This We Can't Be Friends,
Because
I love
it's
it.
super judgmental and
No, it's so funny.
anymore.
People love it. They're already talking about it in the chat room. People love it. Okay, so the movie is Disney's The Kid. It is one of my all-time favorite movies. That, I mean, my family has named their dog after the dog in this movie. It is about, I want to say it's about an adult who doesn't know how to be nice. Is the nicest way to put it. Bruce Willis stars, and the little boy is amazing. It's Spencer Breslin. He's so good in it. And Bruce Willis is kind of like an image consultant who has a bad attitude on life, and he this child finds him and teaches him kind of how to be a kid again, and there's all these amazing reminders of being a kid. Bruce Willis is hysterical. I quote this movie as well. They'll be friends, but you have to see it within the month. How about that? How about that? You have to see it within the month. It's a really great movie that I suggest everyone check out. I love that people are already in the comment section telling us we can't be friends if you haven't seen these movies. And some of the movies that they're listing in the comment section are The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Goonies, which are all on my list too.
Seen it.
Yeah. So we're all friends, Anthony,
Yes.
Michael. Thanks for being in the comment section. So we're super excited to be bringing you guys this show every week and hope to be bringing it live every week. We may have a time slot change, so make sure that you are following the Movie Chick with 2 Ks on Twitter to find out all that information. I want to thank Popcorn Talk Network and AfterBuzz TV Studios so much for letting us use this amazing space. Don't forget to check out Popcorn Talk Network for our quick reviews. And I'm going to let the ladies tell you where they can find you, where you can find them.
Where can we find you?
Where can we find you? You guys can follow me on Twitter at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin. And of course, you can find me on the Popcorn Talk Network's sister network, AfterBuzz TV, as well as shows on Popcorn Talk as well. And again, be sure to check out our articles on the Movie Chick. It's a lot of fun.
These girls work hard at writing, so make sure you read their articles.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet, and on Snapchat at Kia Prime. I am also on so many AfterBuzz shows. Like Z Nation starts this week. And of course, I write for the Movie Chick.
Yay! Courtney, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lula Mae Bell, and you can find my scribblings about movies at freshfiction.tv.
And you are one of my favorite people to read their reviews, by the way.
Thank you.
I always have so much fun, and they're so relatable and fun to read. And
Yay!
they always surprise me. Like, there's always something about it that
have
I'm like,
weird
oh my God,
opinions.
yes, but I love your opinions. They're so much fun. You guys can find me everywhere at Chrisley, Krisiley, and of course at the Movie Chick with 2 Ks. Make sure you go to that website. Make sure you're checking out Popcorn Talk TV. And then we've had so much fun reading your comments too in the section of the show, and we've been trying really hard to talk back to you guys. We love that you watch us, and what makes this show fun is talking to you guys about movies afterwards. Thank you so much to those who are in the live chat room tonight watching us live. This was our first ever live show with our first ever guest panelist. It's been super excited. We can't wait to see you guys next week. The puppy says goodbye. Aww. She will have a name eventually. You guys have to help her. She's the intern for the Movie Chick. She needs a name. Help me. We will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.